minutes in and I have not started. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Lakpadi Badru. I'm a lifestyle content creator based in Edmonton, Alberta. So thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get an alert when a new video like this one comes up. And of course, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for your support so far. I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching again. Okay, let's jump into today's video. So guys, as you may know, we moved to Edmonton in Alberta. We're previously in Ontario and we've been in Ontario for 9+ years. So this was a big move for our family, but we're finally getting settled, one day at a time. And I'm able to actually sit down and put my thoughts together, and give you my initial thoughts about Edmonton. So my plan is to have a Q&A. Maybe that will be the next video after this one, to find out what you guys want to know about our move, to Edmonton, or anything, in general, just like a Q&A. So I'm going to post, I'll post that separately, and also probably on my Instagram as well. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you should follow me at Lakbase Lifestyle. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about my initial thoughts about Edmonton. So yeah, let's jump into it. Okay, so we've been in Edmonton for about 3 months now. Yeah, so 3 months. We moved here like towards the end of July, August, September. Is it up to 3 months? Okay, 2 months. About 2 months, thereabout. And obviously it's still too early to give like a conclusion about how Edmonton really is, because I haven't even been to so many parts of Edmonton, and Edmonton is big, it's a large city. But I have initial thoughts, and even before moving here, we obviously did our research. Like Google has been my friend this past couple of months, like since last year. And if you recall, I don't know, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that we actually came to Edmonton as a family last September. So this was something we actually had been planning for months and months before we decided. When we came, we decided that, what, I think it's time for us to make the move. Like, we got our confirmation and we just said, I think this is what God wants us to do, so let's make the move. So anyway, this is just a very light-hearted video, just giving you my initial thoughts. So my first observation about Edmonton is I've noticed that literally, I'll say almost everywhere that I've noticed has either an avenue or a street. So it's usually like 1300 59th Avenue or 37th Street, something like that, which is interesting to see, because coming from Ontario, the part of Ontario we were in, they were actually names, so there were more names than numbers, if you understand what I mean. So it was just an interesting observation. And it's usually avenue or street, which is very distinct, like peculiar to where we are, like this city at the moment. So it's interesting to see. Another observation is, Edmonton is the city. It's a large city, but there are some cities that border Edmonton. For example, Sherwood Park, which is very close. So it was confusing to me initially, because I thought it was part of Edmonton, but it's actually apparently a city on its own. So it's probably like, the way, if you are from Ontario, it's probably like the way we have Toronto, and then we have the Greater Toronto area. So we have Edmonton, and then we have other cities that are like in the Greater Edmonton area. So we have Sherwood Park, and we have St. Albert, we've got we've got Spruce Grove, we've got Nisku and Leduc, and also Devon, I think. Anyway, that's my observation. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm still learning, so don't shoot me. So it was just interesting to see, because we lived in the Greater Toronto area, but we never really lived in Toronto. So it gives that type of vibes. Well, obviously not Toronto. Something that we observed, that was actually last year when we came, is that in Alberta they don't pay HST. They only pay GST, I think, and it's 5% tax. Meanwhile, in Ontario, it's 13%, and even in some other parts of Canada, like I think New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, they pay as high as 15%. So it's interesting to see that, they pay 5% tax here. Yeah, that's something else that actually caught my eye as well. I guess that's another reason why people like to live here, because the taxes on what you're purchasing isn't as much, so you're not feeling the impact as much. Well, Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'll say it's good. You, however, pay some recycling fee if you are purchasing anything that is recyclable, like maybe like plastic. Like for example, you're buying drinks. For example, you pay recycling fee when you're purchasing, but it's nothing like, I can't really remember how much it is. That's show how insignificant it is, although it adds up. So, but you get what I mean. Like it's just a really tiny fee. So they've got recycling depots. So if you keep your bottles and all of that, you can take all those bottles and take to the recycling depot and collect money for it, which is cool. I don't think I ever did anything like that. But another observation is, if you look at the map of Edmonton, it's like a round city. So I know someone made a joke when we're coming. It was, yeah, we got a lot of, both positive and some not so positive comments when we're coming. Like, kílẹ̀ ló ń ṣe ní Edmonton? Báwo lẹ ṣe ń pa ẹ̀ kíní kan kíní? Báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ máa gbé ní ibi tí snow wà? Yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of comments, but one comment that stood out for me was someone that said, they have only one highway in Edmonton. That it's a very dead city. And I'm like, okay. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah. So if you look at the map of Edmonton, it is round, and highway, the one that borders around the city, is the major highway. It doesn't mean there aren't other highways, but that is the major highway, and it's the 216. So that's the Anthony Henday Park, Anthony Henday Highway, I think. It's called Anthony Henday Highway. So yeah, that is the highway that borders the city, but that doesn't necessarily mean there are no other highways. So that's not correct. But anyway, it's just good to know that. I mean, it's just interesting to know that, that the city is actually round. Another thing I observed is, because it's a large city, so most times the chain of stores are located in like the four quadrants of the city. So my observation is there's a north side, the south side, west end, and then the core, Edmonton core. So because it's a large city, you see the chain of stores, located in those four quadrants, and that's really good because you don't have to drive if the same stores are located in those places, you don't have to drive like literally from one end of Edmonton to the other. Of course, there are some stores that's that's just one store that's in that city. For example, IKEA is located in the south side, which isn't bad. If you're living in the north side, that means you're probably driving about 30 minutes because as I said, it's a round city. So imagine driving from one quadrant to the extreme end of another quadrant. So it's just like a 30 minutes drive to and fro, and that's probably like the farthest you can go. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is just my observation, but yeah, it's really cool to see the chain of stores, like the superstores, the Costco. Like there's Costco in those four quadrants, and it's a relief, honestly, because you don't have to drive too far. And if you want to go to somewhere like IKEA from my side is about, I'll say, almost 30 minutes, or maybe 28 minutes, which isn't too bad, because when we're living in Ontario, we're in Cambridge, and the closest IKEA was in Burlington, and you probably have to drive at least 40 minutes. Hopefully there's no traffic. That's without traffic. So it's actually a relief to know that I'm able to access stores easily. That's a relief. And of course, because it's a major city, just like Toronto, Ottawa, you can imagine, they've got good transportation system. They've got buses, bus stops, and they've got a light rail transit as well. So that is good to see. And my final observation so far is Alberta uses the Mountain Standard Time. So we're moving from Ontario that was using Eastern Standard Time, and I will not lie to you, it has been hard to adjust. It's been hard to adjust, honestly, but I like it because my office operates in Pacific Standard Time. So my office is based in Vancouver, and so now the difference between us is just between me now and my office, my team members, is just an hour. Prior to when I was in Ontario, when it was 3 hours difference, and I always had to bear that in mind when I was setting meetings, or if I had to join a late meeting. Sometimes I'll have to join like meetings by 6 o'clock, if it's a really important meeting. Not like I was compelled to, but yeah, I like that. I like the fact that I'm closer to my office, and even if I need to fly down to my office, it's not really far. But yeah, it's Mountain Standard Time, so we've been getting used to that slowly. And yeah, I'll say now, as I film this video, this is the end of September. So far, it's been busy, obviously, because we've been trying to set up the home and all of that. But so far, we've it's been good. We're enjoying our new house. They're still doing some finishings, here and there, because new house, a lot of things. There's still a couple of things they'll still have to do. The builders will still have to come, like in the next year, to come and make changes, adjustments, something that is not working correctly, and things like that. And even the people we've met so far have all been pleasant, have been welcoming. So far we've met nice people. Everyone has been welcoming. We had a really tight community in back in Cambridge, and we're definitely missing our friends and people, that the community that we built there. But we know that this coming here was something that God really wanted us to, because this has been something on our minds for a couple of years, but it was just how to act on it, because for me, I never thought, it's not like as if I said, oh, I can never move out of Ontario. It's just something that never crossed my mind. I know. So when it became more apparent, like, okay, this is actually something you guys should consider, because you actually get a good deal, and we got the confirmation. It was just like, okay, you know what, let's just do this. And of course, if God is leading you somewhere, he can't leave you. He can't leave you in the dark, right? He will make a way for you. He will send helpers to you, and that's literally what's been happening to us. So my plan is to maybe come back in the next 6 months or a year and give you like an actual observation of how it's been so far in Edmonton. But in my next video, I would like to do a Q&A. So anything, I'll put a post, so just watch out for that post. Anything you want to know about our move, maybe about the builder, about why we wanted to move, like what are the differences between Alberta and Ontario, and all of that, you can ask your questions. And of course, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Just keep an eye out for my question box, so you don't miss it. But yeah, we've come to the end of today's video. It's just a very short one. If you enjoyed it, of course, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, you should be sure to subscribe. Of course, I want you guys to join the family, and I want to be prompted to make more videos like this. So please do well to subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you guys. I see you. I see all the new faces on here, and I am appreciative of all of you. So thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.